Welcome to a new episode of the Beyond Babylon podcast, your eye-opening tour into the world of the Near East. In this episode, we delve into the mystery of an ancient city that resurfaced from the Tigris River in Iraq in 2022, an unexpected result of a severe drought. We'll discuss the impact of ongoing water shortages in Iraq and the resulting strain on the land and its people. We further reflect on the region's historical richness, often referred to as the Fertile Crescent, and how it's being affected by modern climate challenges. Join me as we journey through the past into the present and look forward to the future of this pivotal region in human history. In June 2022, an entire city re-emerged from the depth of the Tigris River in Iraq. Several months of drought reduced water levels, revealing an unknown settlement from ancient Mesopotamian history. The ruins of this Bronze Age city, dating back to around 3,400 years ago, were discovered in the vicinity of the Mosul Dam in the Iraqi Kurdistan region. Archaeologists believe that an earthquake around 1350 BC led to the destruction of the city, causing the upper sections of its walls to collapse. This event contributed to the preservation of the city's sun-dried mud bricks and numerous artifacts, even underwater. Archaeologists covered the site with plastic bags to protect the ancient city's unbaked clay from deteriorating once the dam was refilled. They filled the site with gravel, ensuring the historical marvel would remain safeguarded underwater for future research and exploration. The situation has reached a critical stage, with severe water shortages severely affecting the vital rivers of Iraq, the Euphrates and Tigris. These rivers originate in eastern Turkey and flow through Syria and Iraq, with parts of the Tigris basin extending into Iran. In response to this escalating challenge, the Iraqi government has been compelled to draw water from the dam to irrigate parched lands and protect crops from desiccation, which led to the emergence of the ancient city. According to a 2023 report by the Red Cross, water scarcity and land degradation in Iraq have harmed crops' yields, jeopardizing food security. The Iraqi government said in March that the country had lost 70% of its water. Seawater intrusion downstream destroyed 60,000 acres of agricultural land and 30,000 trees, primarily affecting families in the city of Basra in southern Iraq. This led to internal displacement, impacting thousands of families. The situation is particularly tragic considering the region's historical abundance and fertility, which gave rise to some of the world's earliest civilizations, leading to its moniker, the Fertile Crescent. The Fertile Crescent describes the crescent-shaped area, extending from the Persian Gulf to the eastern Mediterranean coast. It is flanked by the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in the east, while portions of the Nile River traverse its western expanse. This region includes parts of present-day Iraq, Syria, Turkey, Lebanon, Jordan, Israel, Palestine, and Egypt. The rivers have regularly flooded surrounding lands. The Fertile Crescent witnessed the development of irrigation and agriculture due to fertile soil along its rivers. The availability of water not only supported farming but also facilitated trade routes. The region's abundant natural resources attracted travelers, fostering a vibrant exchange of cultures and ideas. This exchange, in turn, led to significant advancements within the Fertile Crescent, including the emergence of writing systems such as cuneiform, advances in mathematics, and the development of religious practices. Some theories suggest that the flood story in the Bible may have been influenced by earlier flood stories from the ancient Near East, including the Mesopotamian flood myth found in the Epic of Gilgamesh, which recounts the adventures of the semi-mythical king of the ancient city of Uruk, Gilgamesh. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, the flood story takes place in Mesopotamia, which corresponds roughly to present-day Iraq. The story includes a significant flood narrative called the Gilgamesh flood myth. Today, climate change and declining water levels are causing political disputes among co-riparians, Turkey, Syria, Iraq, and Iran. Each country is striving to address the water shortage by increasing water consumption for drinking and agriculture. The ghost of an armed conflict over water has already been present. In 1975, Turkey, Syria, and Iraq barely evaded a war over water after Turkey and Syria increased their water portions during severe droughts. Governments of these countries have been constructing large-scale water development projects in an uncoordinated way. Turkey has erected 19 dams out of planned 22 on the two rivers as part of its Southeast Anatolia project. At the same time, this benefits farming and the production of hydroelectricity in Turkey. Iraq, a downstream prisoner of geography, remains on tenterhooks regarding the loss of water sources. A report prepared by Iraq's Water Ministry in 2014 and seen by AP warned that by 2035 the water deficit would cause a 20% reduction in food production. Decades of talks over water sharing constantly hit a dead end as Turkey continues to behave as the owner of the rivers since they originate from its lands. Turkey also insists on engaging war-torn Syria in any negotiations and demands water consumption data that has no interlocutor in war-torn Syria. On the other hand, Iran's water policies also have their share in exacerbating the water crisis in Iraq through unilaterally building dams on Tigris' major tributaries. These dams have resulted in the reduced flow of water downstream into Iraq. Iran has undertaken extensive water management initiatives, including establishing irrigation systems and extracting groundwater to cater to its agricultural and domestic needs. However, these practices have resulted in the depletion of shared water resources originating in Iran and flowing into Iraq. The United Nations has listed Iraq among the top 5 countries most susceptible to climate change. The International Organization for Migration, IOM, has recorded the displacement of approximately 20,000 individuals in Iraq. Such displacements result from water scarcity, increased salinity levels, and poor water quality, all of which have drastically impacted the affected regions throughout Iraq. The northern province of Nineveh, acknowledged as the most wheat-productive region in Iraq, is witnessing a significant rise in water scarcity. This situation is aggravating the already critical food insecurity levels, worsened by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Iraqi farmers are facing increasing levels of crop failure. Many are selling their livestock because they can't feed their cattle anymore. Disagreements between governments have permeated local communities as the Iraqi government implements rationing water supplies to different governorates, which in turn is creating fights over water. The drought also jeopardizes the famous Mesopotamian marshlands in the lower floodplains of the Euphrates and Tigris. In Iraq, the marshlands are known as Ahwar in Arabic, commonly termed the cradle of civilization. The marshlands of Mesopotamia are considered by anthropologists to be the starting point of humanity's significant shift from a hunting-gathering lifestyle to agriculture and permanent settlement about 12,000 years ago. This region maintains a thriving fishery of shrimp and finfish. During the early 1990s, the late Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein initiated the systematic destruction of the Mesopotamian marshes to punish marsh Arabs for revolting against his rule, resulting in a 90% reduction in marsh water levels. After the Iraq War, the new government, together with the marsh Arabs, began restoration efforts by dismantling the embankments and drainage systems. A UN project successfully restored 58% of the marsh's original size by 2006, leading to the return of wildlife. In 2016, the UNESCO World Heritage Site inscribed the marshes on its list. By 2020, the recovery was at its zenith. Marsh Arabs resettled to resume traditional activities like reed harvesting, crop cultivating, water buffalo herding, and fishing. The marsh's ecosystem is collapsing because of the reasons we counted earlier, including 22 globally endangered species and 66 at-risk bird species. The environmental disaster drove tens of thousands of marsh Arabs who have occupied the area for 5,000 years to seek a livelihood elsewhere, according to a report by Yale Environment 360. The Iraqi government has set up plans to update irrigation systems, support farmers and local communities, and increase the efficiency, inclusiveness, resilience, and inclusivity of its agri-food systems. But any serious effort to solve this existential threat will require regional and international cooperation to reach tangible and sustainable solutions. Until next time, this is Nisan, your host, signing off. Thank you for listening to the Beyond Babylon podcast.